Hi. Okay, so this video is to name ionic compounds, but now the ones that we call polyatomic ionic compounds. For this example, I will use the metal with a polyatomic and ion. Okay, so this is the first example for this video. Now, we'll have this that has sodium and the polyatomic and ion sulfate. Okay, so first of all, guys, to name them, these are really easy to name because you only need to identify the ions you have. In this case, you have the sodium ion and you have the sulfate ion. Okay, so when you know that you have these two ions, they are really easy to name. Okay, because you only have to mix the names. So you put these two names together and you form your real name for this formula. Okay, so this is sodium sulfate because it has the sodium ion and the sulfate ion. So when you have a metal with only one possible charge, they are easy to name. They are named like this. Okay? So now, what if we have only the name and we have to go to the formula? Now we have the sodium that has a positive one charge and the sulfate that has two negative charges. Okay? So if the sodium has one positive and the sulfate has two negative, what's the real ratio we should have for the elements in order to have a net charge of 0? Okay, so if we take into account that we have two negative charges of one single sulfate ion, we would need to have two ions of sodium in order to have the two positive charges and have a net charge of 0. So these two will be the subindex for the sodium, and the subindex for the sulfate will be 1, so it wouldn't have any. Now, for another example, I have the aluminum hydroxide. So this is again an example in which I'm going to use a metal with a polyatomic and ion. Okay, so the metal I will use is aluminum, has 3 positive charges, and then the polyatomic and ion is the hydroxide that has only 1 negative charge. Now, if I do again the same procedure, I have to say, okay, I have 3 ions, 3 positive charges in the aluminum and only 1 of the hydroxide. So if I have 3 hydroxide ions, I will have the negative 3 charge, and I need to have the 0 net charge. Okay, so the formula would go like that. Okay, aluminum hydroxide with 3 hydroxides in order to have a net charge of 0. Okay, and the name will be like that. Okay, aluminum hydroxide. In another example, like this one, in which we have aluminum sulfate, we'll need to know that the sulfate has 2 negative charges and the aluminum has 3 positive charges. Okay, so the ones that I have with 3, I had to have with 2 subindex, okay, in order to have 6 positive charges, and the sulfate that has 2 negative charges, I'll have to multiply it with 3 to have 6 negative charges and have a negative charge of 0. They have a net charge of 0 for the compound. Okay, so this formula will be something like aluminum 2 with sulfate in a parenthesis with a subindex 3. Okay, like this. And now I have another example, but now having a polyatomic cation, okay, such as the ammonium. So for example, I will use ammonium oxide. Okay, now you have to know that the ammonium is a polyatomic cation that has a positive 1 charge. Okay, and its formula is like this: NH4 with a positive charge. And the oxide ion, okay, is the oxygen with 2 negative charges. Okay, so now if you want them together, you will have to multiply by 2 the ammonium, okay, because you have only one positive charge. Now you will have 2 positive charges with the 2 negative charges of the oxide ion. It will tell you, well, it will have the net charge of 0. So in a formula, you have 2 ammoniums with 1 oxide, okay, and that's how you will have the ammonium oxide. Now I think this is all for this video, and I know this is a long video, but I had to show you like different examples for this. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video.